Hello everyone and welcome to Console Spirit Tier 3. My name is Thomas, next to me is Lewis, and we're here for the first time in Vietnam at the Hanoi circuit. Currently on screen we've got the driver standings with Matty Robo leading the way in front of Robert, Ricky, Rage Knives, Justin, Connell, Jay Prentice, Dan, Jacek and Jizzy rounding off the top 10. Lars and Steve still to get points, currently on board with Steve. Lars felt really confident going into this week's Grand Prix that he was gonna score points, so let's see what he can do in the Haas. Yeah, like I said earlier, the first time we actually go to this track, and what a track it is. A lot of criticism at the start when the calendar got released. Tricky track, you can't overtake. We've had all the arguments before, we're actually gonna see it for the first time now here at Console Speed. Currently on screen we've got the track 5.6 kilometers long, 3.4 miles, 23 turns. Difficult sector 1 with a really understeering right-hander, then a long straight before the roundabout onto, I think it must be the longest straight on the calendar, going for sector 2, then going to the tight hairpin turn 11, and then going to the very difficult but really flowing third sector. And it should be a good one where overtaking will happen a lot on the straight. On screen currently constructor standings: Alfa Romeo leading the way in front of Haas, Ferrari, Red Bull, Racing Point, McLaren, Williams, AlphaTauri, Renault and Mercedes. It's looking really close for second place in the constructor standings, as Alfa Romeo seems to be dominating in Tier 3. We're going live now to the track with Lewis next to me. Lewis, happy you're in the commentary box with me, mate. How are you doing?
Hello, welcome, good evening everyone. It's great to be back, and obviously we missed out last week's race, but very interesting one, a new track which even the F1 cars and teams have yet to go on, so we're sort of experiencing a bit of history, the new track of Vietnam. Really, like you say, a unique circuit, a lot of low speed corners in that first two sectors, which you can't really use the downforce for, so you need to have a car that's got good mechanical grip in those slow corners. And then the third sector's really flowing, quite enjoyable. That does require the downforce levels, and then you've got that massive straight which goes on forever. Really going to be interesting about strategy, and like you said, overtaking as well is going to be a big factor.
Yeah, definitely. Talking about strategy, I think a lot of people will be going for the one-stop soft to hard. It depends on how good you are with saving your tires, as it could be a struggle towards the end, and with eventual safety cars coming out can throw some things in the work, but I don't think we're gonna see a lot of different strategies apart from the safety cars. So pretty straightforward, soft to hard, but maybe people who want to qualify on the mediums can have an advantage at the end of the race.
Absolutely. And so lap times, remember Steve is going to be the first one to set a lap time, and it's going to be a 1:35.6, and immediately Rob does a 1:34.1.
Yeah, well, we got really close to the back of Steve actually, so luckily for him his lap has ended already. Let's see who is on a quick lap. We go on board with P-Dog, as he is replacing, who is it? Justin in the Red Bull. So let's see what he can do. We also got Joe in the McLaren. He is replacing Jizzy in the McLaren, and we've got Reggae replacing Connell. No, not Connell, Jacek, because Jacek had problems with, I think it was a power cut or something like that. So yeah, a couple of replacements in. Looking forward to see how they will be doing. And Matty Robo apparently is out on the medium tires, so let's see what he can do. Currently going through sector 3.
Is he got wing damage?
Doesn't seem like it.
I wonder if he's just trying to save a set of soft tyres, so he's doing a medium run now, and then do 2 soft runs.
Starting his lap now. Yeah, it could be, definitely could be the case. Or maybe just like get up to grips with the track, see how the conditions are, and then improve on it further on in the session. Really closely to the outside line. Tricky turn 2 as you are coming across the pit exit as well, so when it's about time for the pit stops we will probably see a couple of collisions there, as it's really tricky where the people who are just going for turn 2 can't really see the people coming out of the pits, and the people coming out of the pits can't really see the guys coming out of turn 2. So that will be a tricky one in the race, but we'll have to wait and see how that one is gonna play out. Currently on board with Mediroba as he is going on with the straight. DRS opens now. Yeah, a lot of overtaking will be happening around here. Any other place at the track, I don't think overtaking will be possible. So into the hairpin, which we will seeing right now, is probably the main overtaking spot.
Yeah, it's such a long time being on that on the rock going down the straight. It's such a unique looking circuit on the map and driving it. And Matty Robbo in his final sector getting the rear end up. Oh, he's got too much front end, I think, on that car. And in these fast flowing sectors, it's just catching the rear end.
Yeah. Validation for Matty Robbo, and that's a shame because he couldn't enter the pits because of that. Yeah, Lewis, question, what would you do around here? Because with the straights, it's actually important to have some straight line speed, but with the tricky sector 3 as well, what would you do talking about downforce wise? Like, were you running a high downforce, middle downforce, low downforce setup maybe for the straight? What would you do?
I would, this is the thing, because the last sector, definitely the more downforce high you got downforce, the better you will be. But for most of the other parts of the track, because that first set of corners is slow speed, you only briefly use a bit of, get high enough speed for the downforce. I reckon you go somewhere in the middle, so you're still you've got downforce for that final sector, because you gain a lot of time, but you still need to be competitive on these long power sections. You've got this long straight, which Matty Robbo is on, but you've also got the one leading to the roundabout. And both those areas you can gain and also defend or attack down the lower wing. So I would go somewhere middle, maybe run a lower front wing slightly. But yeah, that's where I'd go for, in regards to that. If it wasn't for such a long straight, you could get away running higher, but yeah, you've got to allow for sector 3.
Yeah, that's the problem. I figured that out as well during practice with some of my friends. It's like you want to run the low downforce where you can gain a lot on the straight, especially if you're on the edge of the 1 second window, but then during sector 3 you lose so much time. It's literally incredible. So you need to have a sort of hybrid balance setup. But yeah, straight line speed, because of the long straight, is so important around here. So it will be interesting to see what these people are running, because when we're approaching the race and when we're watching people on the straight, we can definitely tell who's running a low and who's running a high downforce setup. Currently on board with Robert as he is about to start his second flying lap, currently leading this session with a 134.1, but I know he can go a lot quicker than this. So let's go on board with the Dutchman in the Haas. We saw someone coming out of the pits, that's Rafodes. He goes out of the way very nicely. Hitting the apex on the right inside, got on the curb on the left hand side, almost lost the car, but it's all good. And then onto the first straight, going into the roundabout. This actually is a roundabout in real life, but these guys will negotiate it a lot quicker. You can cut a lot going into the long left hander, and then it's gonna be very tricky when you go onto the throttle, but it goes really well for Robert so far. Good exit, and then onto the big straight. It's so important to get a good exit because it will hurt you for the rest of the lap if you don't. DRS is activated, and you go as he is approaching the hairpin right now. Tricky braking zone and a really tricky exit. Probably see him up into third gear. Yes, he does. Really early upshift. And then we approach the really tricky but flowing sector 3. This is the end of sector 2 as he uses 5 tenths up on his lap time. As he is negotiating sector 3 at this point. Goes up to 7. Oh, as he misses the apex for the right hander. That is gonna cost a little bit of his lap time. And he misses the apex again for the left hander. Hits it for the end of sector 3. And then the double left hander and the really satisfying last corner of this track to round off the lap. Oh, what is Robert gonna do? A 133.7. Won't be happy with that one as he lost 2 tenths through the last sector.
Yeah, really good lap. Those couple of corners in sector 3, but did pretty good in those last 2 corners. Really handy. 133.7, very much what he was able to do yesterday. Can the other guys respond? Rage, he is on the outlap at the moment, it says. He is coming He's P2 at the moment. 24.1 is his previous best. Yeah, so he's about to start a lap now, and so Jay Prentice is just starting a lap as well.
Yeah, I'm on board with Dan now as he is running off and finishing his lap. Goes on to the line as he puts in 1:34.9. Currently P3 for Dan. Dan as well has got a new Go Faster song. Today's song for Dan is Beautiful Way. You, Me at 6. So if you want to look it up, there it is. Hopefully it's gonna bring him some luck today. Going on board with Jay Prentice as he is about to start sector 2.
Yeah, Rage Snipes got a penalty straight away, so cut in the corner somewhere, so Rage not able to improve on this second run. He'll have one more attempt to improve his lap time. But Jay Prentice is heading now towards this very tricky, and you can't leave it too late, hairpin left-hander, which he does very well. Gets good traction down the corner. So to the end of sector, he's a 10th down, 10.5 down on his previous best. So can he make it up now with a bit more rubber laid down the track? And this third sector be an improvement. It's looking good so far. Much better than what it was with Robert. Final corner.
It looks like a really good lap time.
Yeah, the final sector's good. Here we go.
On 3.9 as well, just in front of Dan.
Yeah, that final sector was very good, to be fair. Who else? Steve, he's currently just under 2/10 clear of his previous best in the first sector. Steve is coming down towards the hairpin left-hander. Gets his braking a little bit too early. It means he hits the curb. That'll be a couple of tenths, I think. I'll be surprised if he's still ahead on the clock, and he isn't yet. He's now half a tenth down his previous best. To be taken though in this final sector, you can gain it if you do it well. So far, he's missed the apex for the left-hander here, and he gets it for the right. Now, second to last corner, downforce levels drop dramatically with the low moving speeds. Final corner, no runoff, so you can't let it go too far, which he doesn't, and it is a slight improvement, which Steve puts some P9.
Let's see who is on a quick lap right now. Is it Matthew Robo? No, he isn't. Rage Snipes goes, well, he went again, but he validated again, so he is probably gonna come into the pits, quick change of tires, and then goes again. Ricky has set his lap time with 1:35.2, so that's good news for the Welshman. And we've got the two reserves with Spot and Reggae. Spot is currently on his out lap. Same actually for Lars. Lars, like I said earlier in the stream, looking to get some points, felt confident, looked at the grid and said, I'm gonna do it today. So let's see what the Dutchman can do, as he definitely wants to help his teammate Robert for the constructor standings. Haas currently second in the constructor standings. Alfa Romeo is leading the way, big gap between the two teams. So if Lars could score some points together with Robert, it would definitely be helpful. Only 5 cars actually out on track, as we're all waiting, or as probably is everyone waiting, for their final lap to put in. 27 people watching right now. Hopefully you're all doing well. Hopefully you're still safe and enjoying today's stream. Finally fixed the audio for today's stream, as we had no voice or game sound last week. So happily and luckily that's fixed for today.
Yeah, so the final runs are starting. Robert is the early one. He's going to do his lap time first. Main heaters. As the guys now start to come out. You'd have got to hurry up, otherwise, you know, if we get to the point at 1.2, just about those guys are going to get out before the clock goes to 0. But anyone else who's in the pits, left it too late, surely.
Ooh, Lars lost it coming out of turn 3, that is. He saved it, but it probably cost his lap time. Yeah, he's a 10th down on his previous lap time. That was such a tricky exit for the Dutchman, as he is looking to improve now through sector 2 and 3. Gets a good exit this time from the roundabout and onto the long straight. Lovely helicopter view, you absolutely love to see it. This one of the best ones yet. You could see almost the whole track. Let's see how his sector 2 is looking like. Got a good exit, but the straight you can't really improve on the previous lap time. Through the hairpin. Really well. Important to get a good exit. Lost it almost again. Really tricky and sloppy exit once again. Now going into the right hander, he's 1.5 tenths up down on his lap time. As this is not gonna be a big improvement for Lars, if it is gonna improvement in the first place. Misses the apex for the right hander. Misses the apex for the left hander. This is not what Lars would have hoped for. Going through the last turn now. Onto the start finish straight. Clips the inside wall on the front wing damage as well. No improvement for Lars as we go to his teammate. Hopefully he's gonna do a better job. Onto the start finish. He's not. DRS opens now and he can get a little bit of a tow from the Mercedes in front. Is that gonna help him? To the hairpin now. Ooh, is Steve on the lap? Otherwise he needs to get out of the way. Steve does get out of the way. Ooh, spot retires. That's in the pits. All good. Robert.
Yeah, looking very good.
Yep.
It's very good at the moment. Yes, looks a bit tidier in this sector so far. Yeah, much better in those apexes. This could be an improvement. The car looks so well glued to the track. He must be running a high downforce setting as he comes to the line. 133.3.
That's a solid lap time. So much better through sector 3. We said it on the previous lap time that he had to improve. And he did, so really well done. Let's see, going on board with P-Dog now. Oh, P-Dog is 5 tenths up. So he is looking to get into the 134s. Is he gonna get 3 blades and then he's gonna get in front of Dan and in front of Jay Prentice. 134.7 for P-Dog. Really well done. As we go on board with the only racing point here, which is Rage Snipes, who's got Lars in front. Oh, but Rage already invalidated again. So going on board with the championship leader, Matty Robo now through sector 3. Last 2 left-handers for Matty to negotiate. What is the championship leader gonna do? He ran out of ERS, but a good exit. Onto the line, it's 33.7. Really good lap time from Matty Robo, puts it up into P2.
Yeah, great response, taking advantage of Rage not being able to improve on his lap time. Matty Robbo gets a slice of that front row. Trying to see who else. Roland is coming in now.
He's not going to improve. And that is it for today's qualifying session. Ooh, and Rage Snipes is complaining about Lars. So maybe Lars did block Rage Snipes during his qualifying lap. To be seen at the end of this stream. But Robert taking pole position for today's race with Matty Robo in P2 and Rage Snipes in P3. Good qualifying from Dan as well. Really good qualifying from P-Dog as well. Replacing Justin in the Red Bull. Both Alpha Tauris will be happy with P8 and P9, and Lars will be disappointed starting from P14. He can go for the alternative strategy though, so maybe he can go and start on the mediums or maybe even the hard tires.
Yeah, this is the thing with a new race. Obviously, for the practices people have done, the ideal strategy looks like the soft to hard, especially if you're top 10. However, the guys outside that top 10. What is better? Is it better to go on a medium hard strategy so that overall, a bit like you saw in Russia on the weekend, where you have a longer tyre at the beginning, and then also have a fresher tyre up the later on in the race. I think that's a valuable strategy, to be fair. Probably more so than the hard tyre. But it's interesting, you'll be feeling how good the soft tyre is. If it's a bit like an Abu Dhabi type tyre, then it might be worth the medium to hard.
Yeah, definitely. You will see the people who will go onto the mediums to start the race on will definitely have an advantage at the end of the first stint, and it will, like, the advantage will continue through the second stint as they can go on to the hard tires much later. And being on the mediums will give them a little bit more of a choice when the safety car comes out, because they can either go onto the softs or to the hards. Just depends on when the safety car comes out. So we have to wait and see. Maybe it is the golden strategy to go for the medium hard, but no one inside the top 10 opted to go for the medium hard strategy. They will probably all go for the soft hard in today's race.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, really going to be who those top 10, or outside the top 10, what they do.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys will go for the medium hard, but I expect some guys to go for the soft tire just because they want to make overtakes and just want to have a little bit more of an advantage. What I wanted to mention as well is, for the first time really this season, we've seen some big gaps between the drivers. Only the first 3 cars are within the second. The rest of the grid is all outside of the 1 second winner from the pole time, so that's surprisingly to see. Haven't seen that one all season long.
Yeah, it's something you can get very much. It's very more likely to happen at new tracks because you have the people that have practiced recently and there's no previous experience of this track, so you can't ever have you haven't done hundreds. A lot of people here would have only done tens of laps of this circuit, not hundreds. So you can make big strides with a new track, and I think that you're seeing that today with the Tier 3 guys, where those guys that have done that a little bit more practice have made a breakthrough in setup and just knowing how to do this track.
Yeah, exactly. Now you can see, just like you said, the gaps between the people who practice a lot and the people who only could have done a couple of laps. But still, around this track, I've said it to some people already that I felt more dangerous of picking up wing damage than I did at Monaco last week. It's just this track, I don't know what it is, but because of the low grip, losing the car will almost 100% will result in wing damage, where at Monaco you've got that little bit more grip, and I don't want to say you've got more runoff area, but if you make a mistake, it doesn't always give you wing damage instantly, where I feel around this track, for example the last turn already, where if you understeer or turn in too early you pick up wing damage. As well for the roundabout, when you clip onto the curb it understeers you completely straight into the wall. You can't make a mistake around here, and people who've done a lot of time trial will probably struggle around the race. So the people who've done some race practice will definitely benefit from it, because they know when the tires go off, where they understeer at the start of the race. So that will definitely be very important.
Yeah, it's always worth doing practice races, and I got mine done yesterday and learned a huge amount about the race. The setup, the good thing was the setup for the quali and for the race. It was pretty good, and that's what you learn doing these practice races. Just doing the time trial, it'll get you the quali lap, but you've missed out a big part of knowing whether you're going to be quick enough, and that's doing a practice race beforehand. Interestingly, let's have a look on the tyre situation. So, majority softs, and then when you go outside the top 10, you've got 3 guys in the mediums. There's Ricky, Steve and Kelster swag. But hard for Lars, 2 softs for Spunt and Reggae. And Connell is on the hard as well. He loves the hard choice though, to be fair. The hard being on the soft, so had a good start, a few laps.
On the medium spot, if that doesn't if the safety car doesn't come out in the early laps, then they will have a big advantage going on to the hard tire at the end of the race. Will be interesting to see Spot and Reggae as well on those softs. How much can they improve the first couple of laps? And the real question is gonna be, is Matty Robo gonna keep up with Robert, or is it gonna be a one-man show today? 4/10 the gap in quali. So let's see how it is gonna be in the race as everyone is going into the grid slots as we're getting ready for the first race in console speed around here. Vietnam, the Hanoi circuit. A lot of criticism when the track got released, but let's see if the race will be any good. It's the 28th of September, tier 3 console speed. I don't have any lights, but Robert is building up the reps right now, so it will be releasing anytime soon. As away we go for the Hanoi Vietnam Grand Prix. Good start from Robert, good start from Matty Robo's road race. Now he's gonna go around the outside. Yes, he is. Oh, turns into the inside for the next turn. Matty Robo needs to hold it round the outside, side by side for turn 2. Ray Snipes is gonna come out ahead. Yes, he is. So that's Ray Snipes up a place, Matty Robo down a place, and Robert is already 8/10 away from second place. As Roland is putting the pressure on Dan together with the McLaren. Roland and Jay Prentice now both wanting to make a move on Dan. Roland down the inside. Oh, but Dan shuts the door. And that's Profoda still in P5.
Yeah, Lars got involved. No damage, but he must make contact and he's spun. So Lars on those hards, he's 6.8, 6.5 behind the rest of the field. Down at P17 as the slipstreaming begins. Already about DRS too wide. The Alpha Tauri's on the McLaren, make contact. Somehow though, they're just able to avoid the ball. But that could have been a massive accident, which is what you can get. It's a narrow circuit.
Oh.
We have
And off at the exit coming from the, as he made an overtake on Matty Robo, so it's now full as he put on the pressure from Jay Prentice, our tier 1 commentator in the McLaren.
Yeah, these guys really are. Opening race, straight, main straight. Yeah, a lot of guys used up a lot of ERS at that beginning point.
Dan and Ricky into the pits.
Oh no.
So is that wing damage for Dan in the Alpha? It is wing damage because he is replacing his front wing, goes on to the medium tire, and it is Spot actually, not Ricky, going into the pits as well with wing damage, and he puts on the mediums as well.
Yeah, so Dan going for the two-stop strategy, which is fair enough. The only thing I would do is I would have gone on the hard, because what I did in Spa, same thing, if you get wing damage early, go on the hard, and then if there is a safety car, got a fresh set of mediums to put on. Of course now, if the safety car didn't come out, for example, he would have to put a hard tyre on, which would make the end of the race, but it won't be the fastest tyre to get towards. But right now, I suppose it is early days. You can manage the fastest tyre on and go for a two-stop if you want to, and hope for a safety car.
Here goes P-Dog. Yeah, P-Dog was having a look down the inside of Steve at the hairpin, but he couldn't make it work. They both made contact on exit, but it's all good. Steve still in P11, P-Dog now in P12. P-Dog will not be happy with his start, he dropped down to P12. And Steve has to leave a little bit of a gap to Ricky in front, so the top 10 is running away. Talking about people running away, Robert running away as well, going into the lead is 1.9 seconds actually to Ray Snipes, and Roland is putting the pressure on Matty Robo, only 7/10 the gap between P3 and P4, so let's see what he can do with DRS being enabled on this lap. Going on board with the Dutchman in the Renault.
The other interesting thing is the medium guys are keeping, they're not being dropped, but the soft runners ahead of them. Delster is within a second of Seagate, so he will have DRS this lap as DRS will be activated now. So those medium tyres are on point, which is good news.
Also sector 1 for Profodes. as he is negotiating around about at this point, and we can actually see how good of a straight line speed that Renault has. Oh, that's Lars spinning at turn 3, that is. We saw him almost losing it during quali as well, and now he's binned it into the wall. But let's see what Profotos can do with DRS enabled right now. Only 6% DRS left, but he can still make the move. Only inside through the hairpin, already job done before the braking zone. And that's the Dutchman up into P3. But he has to watch out with his ERS because his percentage is really low.
Yeah, he used up a lot of ERS to get past the J-Print is pure Blades. Blades doing a good job so far in P6. Oh, yellows to sector 2 again. I think that's Lars. Yeah,
Lars again.
Crashed again. Those tyres are cooked. Absolutely cooked.
Hearts of Lars screaming to get changed. But he still's got a long way to go. Look at this, pure Blades being put under pressure by Joe. Can pure Blades deal with the pressure, as we saw his teammate not dealing with the pressure. It's Saige picking up wing damage coming off the last turn, and that's wing damage on the right hand side for the Alpha Tauri. And I think Blades, no, Blades has not got wing damage. I thought for a second he got wing damage. Yeah, he's all good, but Joe is probably gonna make a move into the roundabout. If he's smart, he just waits for the second straight to come. But I don't think he is. Already with a move round the outside. And that is job done before the corner even approaches. But now it will be the case for Pure Blades to come back, get a good exit off the roundabout onto long straight. Lost it on exit into the wall. Wing damage for Pure Blades.
Both Alpha Tauris with wing damage and they're side by side. But yeah, he was desperate to try and get a good run. Lost the back end. And that was it. Heavy wing damage, lucky not to get a retirement as the Red Bull goes down the inside. Oh, Kelster almost going to the back of the other Alpha Tauri, but manages to get through, and Ricky is going to be desperately looking for a way past as well.
Yeah, good move from Kelster as he knew that he had to get past as Joe spinning at the beginning of sector 3. Is that going to cause a safety car?
This race.
No, it's really not. As Joe did get on the way. Yeah, Kelster knew that he had to get past Pure Blades as quick as possible, because otherwise he would have been stuck behind the Alpha Tauri for sector 3, where he will lose a lot of time. It's Blades now going into the pits. Kelster got past both Alpha Tauris actually, and that's the Dutchman up into P6 as Ricky almost lost it on exit as well. We've seen a lot of people struggling on exits, as we've mentioned before during quali, that this track is so low on grip. It's really easy to lose it around here.
Well, this is the thing with Sidegate, he's got wing damage, but through his first sector, if you look at him, he's not losing really much time. It's because you don't really use aero around those first corners. Then you've got the long straight, where you can actually get better straight line speeds throughout the wing. And then you've got these slow corners again, and you don't really lose massively. Where you lose it with having wing damage massively is that third sector. And that is where Kelster also makes money, because Sidegate, even now, is still able to stay with Kelster. And again, he has TRS, but as soon as you get to that third sector, you lose, and that is where the downfall's really bad.
Yep.
He's having a look.
Ricky is having a look, but the problem is Saige has got DRS as well, but Ricky still goes for the move down the inside. He can go much later on the brakes, especially on those mediums as well. Will have a little bit better grip as he gets his way past Saige, and the Red Bull of P-Dog follows immediately. So that's Saige losing 2 positions in one corner. That's understandable with the wing damage. So that's Ricky up into P7, P-Dog up into P8.
Yeah, you'll see now Saige loses so much time in this sector now. This is where you need as much grip as possible. And he won't be able to live with them. He decides to pit late. And trying to, he can probably still do the hard strategy.
Yeah, understandable. Yeah, he's probably gonna go for the hards and try to make it till the end. Look at Ricky. He is on the run now. Up into P7 on the last lap, only 5 tenths behind Keltsweg in P6. Is he gonna go for the move on the first straight, or is he gonna wait until after the roundabout? Let's see what the Welshman in the Ferrari is gonna do. He
Save
DRS open, no overtake button enabled. So he's probably gonna save it, like you said, for the second straight. Although, goes for the move, round the outside, which turned into the inside. What a move from Ricky. Oh, P-Dog. No way, P-Dog with a double move.
Oh, Ricky's gonna try and hold on, which he does. Great bit of battling there, but who has DRS? That's the question.
Kelsey will have DRS. And it's both Red Bulls with DRS. Are they both gonna overtake Ricky once again? Kelsey isn't. Is P-Dog gonna go for the move? P-Dog is gonna go for the move. Ricky leaves him the room. Fair play to Ricky. Has to go wide, which will hurt his exit. Side by side now on to turn 12. But Ricky stays in front. Little lock up. But that's Ricky up into P6. Kelsey up into P7. And P-Dog now down to P8. Brilliant move from P-Dog at the first place. Didn't pay out after the straight.
Speedy runners lost a bit of time. What else happened with the AlphaTauris? There's 6.1 behind Jay Prentice. But can Ricky now start to close that gap in? Oh no, the Mercedes! The Red Bulls crashed P-Dog! Final turn, lost the rear end.
And it calls a safety car. Yep, safety car is out, crashed by P-Dog.
Yeah, the Red Bull, we just lost the rear end, asking too much now on those worn softs. And that is P-Dog's race over and done with. So now, this is interesting, because, and the leaders have been able to get ahead of the safety car. So, the Williams, oh, Ragge's hit the back of the safety car. I can't believe it, I just saw. Ragge was trying to get past the safety car, hit the safety car, and it's got wing damage.
Oh my days, he completely ran into the back of him.
Yeah. I don't know what he was doing, like he was just following him.
Luckily for him, he didn't get disqualified, because normally when you hit the safety car, it's game over. But he is allowed to continue his race. We'll have to stop, but he probably would have stopped anyway, being on 6 lap old soft. So not a big deal for Ragge, but he definitely lost some time with it. Let's see what the leaders are gonna do.
They're surely gonna pit.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna pit. And they will probably pit for the hards. Rage Snipes actually did a pretty good job to keep up with Robert in front. The gap only was a second. So this will all equals the field out. And it's actually pretty good for Roland as well, as he was running really low on ERS. Now has got the time to save it all up. Jay Prentice will probably follow as well. Yep. The question will be, what are Ricky, Telstra and Steve gonna do? Yeah, they all pit. They will probably all pit for hards as well. Kelsey Swag just about on the pit limit. Steve goes into the pits as well. Ragge will follow. Yep, indeed. Saigate just pitted for fresh mediums. Connell just pitted for fresh soft tires. So they will continue their way. If I was Saigate, I will pit again for another set of hards. But that was me. Connell as well, by the way.
Obviously, the only one who's gone on the hard. All the others behind him have gone mediums, apart from Ricky.
Ooh.
Even Kelster's gone on to another set of mediums. I can't believe it.
That's really strange.
The thing was, I noticed Robert was very good on the hard tyre. He was really quick on the hard tyre. Like, even with me on the medium, his pace was very good on that hard tyre. So it'd be very interesting to see. I wouldn't be surprised if he's able to keep the guys behind him and pull away, because that hard tyre seems to work well.
Yeah, I would say people who are currently on the mediums will have to stop again.
Yes,
don't quote me on that, but I don't think those medium tires are gonna make it.
They won't. The medium tyre doesn't actually wear much better than the soft tyre. It's only slightly more durable. It's the hard tyre that is much more level on pace. But yeah, that medium, you're not going to make 20 laps on the medium. These guys are going to have to stop again. And this is the only problem with starting on the medium, is if you get an early safety car like this, it can mess you over.
Yeah, but it was just about time for the soft runners anyway to go on to the hard tires, because I think the pit delta is like lap 9, lap 10 to go on to the hards. Yeah, so even the guys on the mediums could stop for the hard tire and make it till the end. The only
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
was they couldn't take advantage of
That's
being
right.
on the medium tire at the beginning. Like normally they would have gone on to
Yeah.
like lap 14, 15 and then go on to
Yeah.
the hard tires, make it till the end. Now it all equals out, but Ricky, the only medium runner to go onto the hard tire, and like you said with Kelsweg going from medium, so he definitely has to stop again.
That's right.
But Rage, Matty, Profodes, they probably have to pit again as well.
They will.
So for them, it will be the case of overtaking Robert as quickly as possible if they can, and then
Yeah.
pull away as much as possible, because otherwise they will be losing 20 seconds to the leader and won't have time enough to make it all up again.
It's a point. It's a very good point. The thing is, if Robert, as he had yesterday, has the pace to stay ahead of these guys on the hards, it's game over. Yet they need to actually make a bit of a gap. And I think because they pitted at this lap, I would have thought they will go and extend it on the mediums and then pit for softs for their final stint. That is what I think they would go for. Because if you want to go for softs, you look to pit around lap 20, lap 21. You look to pit for a soft tyre. So they've got about 11, 12 laps to do on the medium. And obviously some of these laps have been under safety car.
Yeah, I think the safety car will come in this lap, so that means 18 laps still left for the guys on the medium. So we'll probably see the guys pitting on lap 20, 21, then go on to the softs at the end. But yeah, strange decision, really strange. Just can't get it.
Expecting the safety car to turn off its lights for us to resume this very interesting race so far. And he has perfectly made this race. Look out then for Ricky and Steve. They're the other guys in the top 10 who are on hard tyres, so they are not going to pit again. And then also Joel Granger and P15. So those guys won't be pitting again. Safety car's still got his lights on, hasn't he?
Yeah, he is coming in this lap because Robert is holding up the field right now, so hopefully he will do a better restart than he did last week, where we saw a lot of people picking up 5 seconds of time penalties because they collided with each other. It was a sort of Bottas safety car restart at Mugello. But it seems all good for now. Safety car goes into the pit, so Robert can go whenever he wants. Overtaking is allowed after the safety car line, which is actually start-finish line now actually, so we'll see any overtakes before that. As Robert is gone, it's green again. Oh, and a big gap between Ricky and Kelster. Kelster has been sleeping, 1.2 seconds already. And a good safety car restart from Robert as Ray Snipes is putting the pressure on the Haas driver. Already goes down the inside, much more grip compared to the Haas. And it's almost Ray Snipes. That is Ray Snipes into the lead, but he clipped the inside. Is that gonna cause any wing damage?
No. He's alright. Those hards, obviously the one issue with the hards is getting tyre temp up. And there goes Matty Robbo down the inside. He's trying to hold him around the long way, but Matty Robbo
from Matty Robbo, the champion. Championship. The move straight away. Oh, but look at this, Jay Prentice and to turn 1, I think it was, but now Robert
past Matty Robbo.
crucial move from Robert. Rage Snipes, cool for the race, big advantage to make another pit stop.
Yeah. P6. Oh, the tyres warmed up. The hards seem really good. This is what I saw in practice. The hard tyre is a good tyre, good race tyre. And Robert is staying in DRS range, 8/10 is the gap. But Ricky is really lining up Roland here, 2/10 is the gap. It's a little dummy look, but it's quite tricky to make a move into tier 1 and a turn 1 that's short right up the inside of them.
Yeah, you don't want to make a move into turn 1. You will have to wait for either the first straight or the second straight. What is Ricky gonna do? 4 tenths now is the gap. Crucially for him, he's on the hards, and Roland in front is on the mediums. He is closing in just about. The thing is, no DRS yet, so he's got to do it on pure straight line speed. As Roland is in the slipstream of Jay Francis, Roland gonna line up a move on the McLaren in front. He puts it into overtake, puts it down again to ERS mode 1, as he thinks better of it. Look at Jay Prentice, he's got some brilliant straight line speed as he's pulling away from the Renault in front, or behind, sorry. And Ricky struggling for straight line speed as well. But his time is yet to come on those hards. And Robert closed in again on Rage Snipes in front. 7 tenths now is the gap, so he closed in 4 tenths on the last lap as he is getting those hards up to temperature.
Yeah, that's the thing, they're looking good so far. And Robert, you think you're having a big smile on your face because the guys who should be on faster tyres but will need a bit again are not pulling away from you, and in fact he is actually doing a quicker lap time so far on this time by.
As DRS gets enabled, so it's time for overtakes once again. And think about an overtake will be Robert. Is he gonna make an overtake on the long back straight? You have to come a little bit closer if he wants to make a move, or is it gonna be Matthew Robbo making a move for second place? We've got to wait and see. JP, he will be having problems defending from Roland and Ricky behind. Roland gets DRS. As Jay Prentice is defending with the overtake button. But for how long is that gonna be the case? Roland looks up, but still gets a good exit. As I think it will be time for him now to make an overtake. Puts it into overtake, almost loses an exit. So is this allowing Ricky to make an overtake?
Two Mercedes cars getting together there. Sorry, Stephen Connell. And Connell gets through, no damage though.
Roland using all of his ERS. Oh! Running into the back of Jay Prentice. Jay Prentice out of this race. A big wing damage for Roland. It's like Verstappen and Vettel on Silverstone all over again. Big wing damage for the Dutchman, as Ricky could see it all in front of him. Big accident between Roland and JP.
Yeah, Ricky gets past Roland there, so Roland's going to have to pit. The only good thing is Roland could put the hard tyre on now and go the rest of the way. He will have to do a wing change, which will cost him a huge amount of time, but he'll just have to pray now for another safety car. Yeah, Ricky looking very good now for a P2 in this race, because he, just like Robert ahead of him, will have to stop again. Whilst you've got a lot of guys on those medium tyres who'll be looking to be around that 2021.
Ooh, Manny Robo and Robert side by side. And Robo gets it through the braking zone. Crucial move from Matty, as he is about to make an overtake on Rage Snipes as well. Needs to get a good exit, which he does. And now it's time for him to make a move on Rage Snipes. DRS enabled now. But is he gonna get close enough? I don't think he will. Such a long straight, but not long enough. Oh, Matty runs deep into turn 11. Gets on the curb, but still stays in front of Robert. The top three pulling away and fighting in the process.
They're very close there. You should see Robert if he has got higher downforce. And to be fair, the fact he's able to stay with Matty, was it yellow in sector 2 as a McLaren?
It's Joe.
Has he got wing damage?
Yep, big wing damage for Joe, as he definitely has to stop again. Lost it coming out of turn 11. We said it before, tricky exit, a low grip, and we've seen it once again with Joe losing it on exit.
shame there, real shame. Spud gets a speeding penalty. So Spud pit again, it's got a yellow in green, but that's cleared. But yeah, we got a battle here. Kelster versus Seigate. Obviously Seigate having a reprieve because of that safety car. So yeah, we're damaging up Seigate down the inside of Kelster. And he's made it. You're carrying a lot more speed. Seigate's pace on those mediums really good. Obviously now he will be under pressure from Kelster down this long back straight.
Good move from Seigate. Will be coming back at the Dutchman right now. The two Dutchies going side by side. Fleck got it done already. Like we've seen. So that's P5 again as Seigate drops down to P6 as he has to try it again on the next lap. Matthew Robbo now closing in on Ray Snipes. 4/10 is the gap between both of them. As it is now, as he goes into the pits, and this is crucial because he was in a prime position on those hards. And now Matty and Ray Snipes can pull away. Ricky is...
I mean, if I was Ricky now, my heart would be... Well, I'd be getting an adrenaline rush because he is in the driving seat. For Robert, it's a disaster. Because now, has he got another set of hards? He won't. So he'll have to go on the mediums, which is doable. But it's going to be a long stretch on those medium tyres.
Oh, as he drops down all the way to P11, it will even be P12, make that P13. Got it for Robert, as he has to do a lot of comeback work.
Yeah, this is what you said about the wings though. It's going to be definitely a track with no real runoff, just walls. You are prone to hitting that wall. And yeah, just like that, Robert is out of it. Out of contention.
Oh. Blaze and Steve making contact. Blaze shutting the door, Steve sticks his nose in. Contact, but all good. As Blaze is up into P9. But yeah, Ricky 5.7 seconds behind the two leaders who probably both have to stop again. They will wait until they go onto the soft tire probably. And then it will be very interesting to see how close they can catch up to Ricky again.
And the gap, to be fair, between Ricky and Matty is 5.6, 5.7. So his medium's still going strong. But it's still very even on pace.
Ooh, Matty Robbo tricky on exit, but all good for now. DRS open. Closes in on Ray Snipes, who probably waiting for Matty Robbo to get past him. But he's doing a pretty good job leading this way, and I think Matty Robbo is pretty happy being in second place for now. No need to battle a lot, as they will probably both know that they have to pull away from Ricky to make the two-stop work.
Yeah, I mean they're taking a couple of tenths out. The gap now between Ricky and Matty is 6 seconds dead. So the thing is, I found with going on the soft at the end, the gap for me, I think when I came out was 26 seconds, and I was able to get it down to 8 or 7 seconds by the end. So you can get about 18 seconds back, but from depending on your speed, it could be between 16 to 20 seconds you get back on your opponent. So it'll be interesting to see when they come back out what the gap is between Ricky. They've got a better idea of what results.
Yep, very interesting to see the gap between Matty Robbo and Ricky on the straight because of the DRS and overtake for Matty Robbo. He gained 4/10 on Ricky, but he's just losing it through sector 3 as he gets the dirty air and the tire wear of the 7 lap old mediums. So interested to see how the gap evolves, and Ricky is actually closing in again, 5.9, 5.8. He is definitely on the move. Kelswag still in P4 as Reggae goes into the pits. 7 lap old mediums is quite early. Is he gonna go for the softs already?
The only thing is, it's too early for the soft. But did he get wing damage?
Yep, front wing ready. Onto the soft tire, so he's actually gonna stretch it for the remaining 11 laps.
He probably didn't have any other mediums. He struggled. That's Rage and Matty's a real big battle now. I think Matty's got his chance. I think it's last
that's
again.
last again. Actually, last time was after.
With those tyres being cooked, he's hit the wall. The last one of the pit.
Matty got past Rage Snipes 5.8. It is now between Rage Snipes and Ricky. Let's see if Ricky can close in even more for sector 3. But when are these guys gonna stop? I think we will see the pit stops in about 2 or 3 laps time. As Robert is making the move on Blaze, he got past Blaze through turn 11, and that's the Dutchman up into P8. To be fair to him, sorry to interrupt, he's got Kelster, Saige, Dan and Connell in front, who all have to stop again. So he is gonna gain some position, but they will probably all be on the soft tire at the end of the race, so they will gain back on him at the end of the race. But will it be enough? That's the question. But he will gain some positions during the pit stops.
Yeah, in the last sector, Ricky gained almost 4/10 in that final sector, so back of Rage. So that's a telltale sign that these mediums have gone past their best, and now the tables have turned. The hard tyre is still performing at a higher level, and yeah, it's starting to move. I expect it's going to be around lap 19, lap 20. These guys are going to be in the slots.
Let's see now, Saige with a try once again. ERS is open now, but he is not going to go for the move as he is saving his ERS. 50% of ERS compared to the 40% ERS of Kelswag. So pretty much equal on battery percentage. As Dan is following closely, only 5/10 behind Saige. Connell has to leave a little bit of a gap, 2 seconds. And Robert is closing in massively on the guys in front.
Yeah, just waiting for the first pit stops to happen. But yeah, Rage's tyres are so overheated in that final sector. He lost loads of time, dropping 1.2 behind Matty, so he's out of DRS right now.
Yeah, I think this is time for Snipes to make a pit stop, maybe get the undercut of Matty Robert, but I think they both will be stopping on this lap, as they after this lap got 9 laps remaining to drive on the softs. Will pretty much doable, but because they have to watch out for Ricky closing in. He closed in a second over the last 3 laps, and he will be closing in even more if they stay out longer.
Robert is up into P8 already. He was down in P8, P12 when he first came out of the pits. P8 now and 7.9 behind Connell. Be his next opponent. I mean, the pace, if he has unreal pace, that's obviously he did have a wing change. Being on those fresher mediums, he is currently 22.9, 22.8 behind. So he's actually almost within, when Matty and Rage pit, he's going to be right there. However, they will have a fresh set of softs. He won't be able to keep him behind, but that just shows you the pace that Robert's on today.
Yeah, insane pace and really unlucky with picking up the wing damage, but there is what comes with championship leader as well. Having the pace, but also making no mistakes, and that's what Matty Robert currently is doing. But like I said, Rage Snipes is going to pit this lap, and he is going to get the undercut on Matty Robert. Let's see how powerful it is. Because Matty Robert stays out a lap longer, as he has to react now and he has to push to make sure he gets in front of Rage Snipes again. Racing point. into the pits, and it's gonna be soft tires indeed. Kelsweg follows together with Connell, so both guys in as well, which will allow Robert to get past, as we see him on the top left, getting past on the start finish straight.
Yeah. The thing is, he will it's because of that pit exit. Rage carry, hence the Rage does still stay ahead of Robert. However, I think those softs are going to be on such another level.
Yeah.
And this was going to be much time on this lap alone. And Matty's going to have a lot of hard work to do. Should have been aware of, the time the pit window was going to open. Obviously, he will have a lap pressure tyre, which might make a little bit of a difference towards the end, but...
Ooh, yellow sector 3 spot, Robert tired for sector 3. Is that gonna cause a safety car? A virtual safety car comes out, and this could be, if it stays out long enough, then Matty is gonna gain so much time.
He's going through that final sector now. He's like, go on, speed up, I want to get to the pit lane before it ends. And here we go. I mean, he's going to have to pit anyway.
Oh, this is gonna help him massively. It's still out, so every single second he's in the pitch with the virtual safety car out is gonna be massive. And Ray Snipes will be kicking himself.
Rage Snipes. We're still under virtual safety car. This is gonna be super close. But yeah.
And this is gonna be really close between Ricky and Matty as well. Because now the gap is so much less than it would have been when the virtual safety car didn't come out.
Here we go
the gap now.
He's gonna get it. He's gonna get just
in front of his teammate.
Yeah, and there you go. So in the end, Matty had the luck of the VSC to save him, and potentially now this is a game changer because he's only 7.2 behind Ricky.
Yep, with 7 laps to go, he has to gain a second a lap and make an overtake on the Welshman. But I see him doing it on those fresh softs compared to the old hards of Ricky. Dan is gonna do his absolute best to hold Ray Snipes behind, as Dan is currently on for a podium position.
But Dan surely won't be able to make those mediums last. He'll try, but those mediums are going to be really bad. Yeah, this is the only advantage of the 2-stop was if there was a VSC late on, and that has worked beautifully. Unfortunately for Ricky, he will rue that because it was one of those where he was looking at a 15-second lead. Instead, he has 7, and that is just not enough. Those soft tyre Matty and Rage are just going to eat into him massively.
Connell, brilliant exit coming out of the hairpin. Actually got past Kelsweg, who was struggling on exit. That is 2 places gained in only 1 corner for Connell. Brilliant stuff for him. That brings him up into P6, coming from last place on the grid. He is doing a brilliant job so far. Let's see what is Ray Snipes gonna do. He goes for the move already down the inside into turn 1, and that is Ray Snipes up into P3. Well done from the racing point. But yeah, 2.8 seconds, 3 seconds behind Matty Bobo. I don't think he is gonna gain that time back.
Yeah, Matty's got so much more grip now compared to the 40-lap old hards of Ricky. The gap's already down massively. He's going to be with him by the end of the next lap. 3.3, it's just massively getting either way now. Unfortunately, he has got a bit of a gap. He's got a 3-second buffer to Rage. And then Robert is on those 6-lap old mediums. So he's not going to charge, but he might get a P4 still, which would be a great recovery drive, considering he had to pit again for wing change. Connell only 7.1 behind as well, but he has got Kelster right up on the back of him. Kelster's starting up for a move. I think he's going to do it. Yep, so Kelster retakes P6.
Yep, Kelsweg did run it a little bit wide for Connell not to steer in too early. Connell was having a look. couldn't make the move stick, as he has to stick into P7 for now behind Kelsweg. Good move from the Dutchman, and that's gonna back down to P7 as Reggae is still holding on to it as well in P8. 4 lap all for the guy from it on those the first well
See, it would have been a difference. Obviously there was no VSC, it would have been a slam dunk, but yeah, obviously right now the VSC massively helps Matty. Matty's going to get a massive run.
Oi, switchback from Matty Robbo, you absolutely love to see it. And that is the championship leader back into P1. Oh, as we have turned into a radio show, as apparently we don't have any gameplay. Brilliant. Last time we had no audio, this time we've got no gameplay. Oh, you absolutely love to see it. We've turned into a podcast.
Yeah, we've turned into a radio show here. We're at lap 24 now of 28. 5 to go. And Matty is pulling away. A second clear already of Ricky. And even Rage isn't going that quick on these soft tyres. Easily pulling away. Rage is now nearly 4 seconds behind Matty Robbo. So Matty's got this one much happy on those soft tyres.
Yep, for the guys still in the street, Matty Robbo is leading the way. 2 lap old softs. Ricky in P2, 1.5 seconds behind on 16 lap old hards. He will go till the end. Rage Snipes is on fresh softs, 2.6 seconds behind the Welshman, and he is looking to get P2. Big gap to Dan in P4, who's getting chased down by Robert in P5. Connell P6 really close together with Kelsweg and Reggae, who has to defend from Psychic in P9, and Roland is in P10 taking the final point in this race.
Yeah, still people on all 3 different compounds.
Oh, Robert got past then into the hairpin for P4, and Kelsweg got past Connell for P6. Both overtakes happening before the hairpin. So Robert and Kelsweg both gaining positions.
Yeah, and Robert with his tyres in literally half the age of Dan's. Yeah, that's why he's able to have the advantage right now at this stage of the race. And that, I think, is it for Robert. I don't think he's going to get any more from this race. Good recovery, P4. He'll obviously be looking at what could have been, but also it could have been much worse. The gap between Ricky and Rage is 1.5 seconds. So it's going to be a matter of if, not when. And yeah, Ricky's still on course though for a podium, so the strategy definitely still worked for him considering he started in P12. So he'll look at it as, yeah, a job well done. Maybe what could have been, because he would have still been ahead right now. It would have been close. I think Matty would have got close to him and it might have took the win from him. I think P2 was very much on course for him at the very least. Had to be a scene on occurred, but good job so far just staying out on DRS.
Connell made a move on Kelsweg going into turn 4 and actually is holding on to it, but is Kelsweg gonna come back at him with DRS enable and the overtake button? Kelsweg back up into P6. Those guys switching places left, right and center. And Rage Snipes now finally into the 1 second window of Bricky and Fun as they are entering lap 26 of 28. Ray Snipes 8/10 behind Ricky. Is he gonna go for the move onto the first straight, or is he waiting for the second back straight? We have to wait and see. 6/10 it is now between Ricky and Snipes as he's building up the pressure for everyone listening, not watching. Going into turn 1, Ray Snipes closing in even more. 5/10 it is, with Medirobo pulling away 4.5 seconds now. He is in front of Ricky. Ray Snipes 3/10 it is now between him and the Ferrari in front. DRS enable, no overtake button enable, as he is definitely waiting for the second straight to come, as Lars needs to get out of the way. Ray Snipes now 2/10 behind Ricky. Through the roundabout they go, and now onto the long back straight. This should be easy move and job done for Ray Snipes, but did Ricky get DRS from Lars in front? No, he didn't. So with DRS enabled now, overtake button down the inside, Ray Snipes gets past Ricky before the hairpin. Ray Snipes up into P2, Ricky down into P3, but still a podium for the Welshman.
Yeah, it was no point battling too hard. He has got a big gap between himself and Robert, who isn't really catching into him. Those soft tyres are pretty good at the end. They don't really lose. Well, they do lose a bit of performance. Obviously, they're still quicker than the hard tyre or medium tyre right to the very end. So these guys won't experience any wear issues, I don't think. Now we've just come up to the penultimate lap.
Yep. Lap 27 has just started with Medirobo in P1, Ray Snipes P2, Ricky P3, Robert P4, then still holding on to those 18 lap old mediums in P5, Kelsweg P6, Connell P7, Reggae P8, Saige P9 and Roland P10, who's getting chased down by Jay Prentice in P11. That's your top 10, as Lars is pitting for probably another set of soft tyres as he's trying to get the fast lap in today's race. Medirobo now with a 5-second gap to Ray Snipes. Ricky is just about within the 1-second window of Ray Snipes in P2. Robert is casually pulling away from Dan, who is doing a brilliant job in P5 on those 19 lap old mediums, but he is being put under pressure by Kelsweg anytime soon, who is still battling with Connell for P6 at this point, which could be P5 at the end of the race. Connell makes a move down the inside just before the roundabout, picks up 3 seconds in the process, but that's Connell up into P6. Kelsweg now down to P7.
This race is still frantic in that battle for P5. Dan has lost a load of time. Those mediums have well and truly given up. Can he make it to the end without getting a puncture? And can he hold on? Those charging Mercedes, Red Bull, Williams and Alpha Tauri, who are also on softs which are past their best. So a great final lap coming up.
Let's see now with P5, P6 and P7 all within a second. Yellow through sector 3. Oh, the leaders were going through the last turn. I thought one of them made a mistake, but that definitely wasn't the case. Medirobo starts the last lap, lap 28 of 28. Ray Snipes 5 seconds now behind Medirobo, and Ricky not within the 1 second. He did a brilliant job to keep it within the second on the last lap, but now 1.2 seconds behind Ray Snipes. He has to give up on that second place, but what is it gonna be? For P5 then is forming a big train behind him, with Connell, Kelsweg and Reggae all within a second. 4 guys battling for P5 in this race. How is it gonna end up? Unfortunately you guys can't watch it. Hopefully you guys will hear it, what the end will be for today's race, as Connell is trying to go around the outside of Dan, but then the fence shuts the door, going through the roundabout now. Then has to defend but understeers a lot. Connell is already side by side, sticks it behind the Alpha again, but with the overtake button now, and DRS should be job done for the Mercedes. Is the Red Bull gonna follow as well? Steve.
Oh my god,
it's Connell, so 3 wide going through.
No.
Third 11. Oh, they make contact.
Oh, brilliant try from all of them though, to be fair. And somehow Connell gets ahead. It's Dan in second.
Connell gets ahead. then
he's heading
holds on
to
to
the line.
P6.
As Matty crosses the line to take the win.
Matty takes the win. All we have to focus on a battle for P6. Is someone gonna go for the late move? Dan is doing everything he can to nurse his Alfa Romeo to P6 in this race. Is Kelsweg? Kelsweg is gonna go for the move down instead of Reggae. Reggae goes for a late move in the second to last turn. Side by side for the last turn. It's Dan gonna take P6, but who's gonna take P7? It is gonna be Dan taking P5 on Pens, Reggae P6. Saik P7, Connell P8, Kelsweg P9 and Roland taking the final point, P10. What an end of this race and what a shame you guys couldn't see it.
Yeah, shame. Because, yeah, and we were, I think we have Steve off. Yeah, Steve
lost it on the last lap at the beginning of sector 3.
Yeah.
So Joe got passed for P12. For one end of this race, and Matty Robbo taking a victory once again. Blazes in the chat. Matty is on fire this season. Thomas is having flashbacks. Yeah, definitely having flashbacks of last season. I was hoping for it to. Yeah, I wish it was the same for this season, but unfortunately that isn't the case. But yeah, definitely flashbacks of last season. So we're gonna invite these guys to the commentary box for the interviews of the podium runners. Let's see, inviting Matty, Rage and Ricky to the commentary box. So let's see if they are about to join. Robert, unfortunately, P4 full standings for you guys. Matty Robbo P1, Rage Snipes P2, Ricky P3, Robert P4, Dan P5, Reggae P6, Sagai P7, Connell P8, Kelsweg P9, Roland P10, Jay Prentice P11, Joe P12, Steve P13, Blades P14, Lars P15, Spot 16 and P-Dog P17. Connell taking the fast lap in his race, so he will get an extra point because he finished inside the top 10 as well. Yeah. Let's see. Slowly everyone is joining the commentary box. Everyone who joined already, make sure your audio is on, allowed to be shared, and then we can start with the interviews very shortly. Okay, everyone has joined the commentary box, starting off with our P3 Ricky. I think you will be happy with the result at the end. The virtual safety car unfortunately came out for you, which caused Matty Robbo to have a less gap between you and him than expected at the beginning, but still very old hard tires managed to get P3. Happy or disappointed about the result?
I'm ecstatic. I wasn't even going to race until 7:30 tonight, so I've done zero running. I could have qualified a lot higher. I was up a lot, but I backed out knowing that I could start on the medium. And when the safety car came out, my mediums were 27%, so I knew the mediums would struggle. So I decided to go on the hard and just hope people run out of tire and take a chance. And I got really lucky with people choosing the mediums, I guess.
Yeah, because you all made the pit stop during the safety car. When you saw everyone around you on medium tires, were you thinking about getting the podium already, or was it still far away for you?
No, I actually thought, Jesus Christ, I made the wrong selection because I wasn't sure on the strategy. I thought soft to medium could make it after so many people went on the medium. So I was just like, oh, just try and get points. And, I lucked in a bit to where I finished.
Yeah, really well done, mate. And without any practice, that's a really, really good result. Congratulations on the P3, really well deserved and
Thank you.
really good one. Enjoy it. Going on to P2 in this race, Rage Snipes. Really well done, first of all, by taking P2. Disappointed about the result, or happy at the end by taking the P2 in this race?
I think both, because Matty was very lucky with the VSC that he could pit. But I started P3. I like this. I like the circuit. How do you say it? Yeah, I'm very happy with P2. Didn't expect it really. I thought I would get damage and lose.
Yeah, it is. It really easy to pick up damage around here. You went on to the mediums during the safety car. Was that always your plan to go on to the mediums, or because of the
Yeah,
safety car you went on to the mediums?
It was always my plan to go for a two-stop, but yeah, it worked out. So
Yeah, at the end, happy about going on to the mediums, or if you could rerun this race, would have you gone on to the hard tires?
no, I'm happy I got to the medium, because if I think I would have took the hards, I think I would get damage really. I don't like the hards on Vietnam because the grip is low.
Fair enough. Yeah, low grip on those hards. Good choice at the end to go on to the mediums and P2 at the end. Congratulations, mate. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Going on to our championship leader and race winner. Once again, it's looking like me last season at Tier 2, taking victories left, right and center. Probably didn't expect this one, but at the end, with the virtual safety car playing your way for once, you got the advantage over to Gricky and yeah, drove it till the end.
Yeah, there's nowhere to lie. That's it. VSC came out, and beneficial, as you said, for a change. Massive shout out to Ricky though. I think that's a top effort to try and put off the one stop round here, especially on the hards, considering they're not a great tyre. And yeah, it was chasing down. It was shades of Abu Dhabi from a couple of weeks ago, just hunting down. I kept a fresh set of softs to use at the end, and yeah, nothing really else to say, I think.
Yeah, just a pretty decent race. When you saw Robert picking up wing damage and pitting, what was going through your mind at that point in the race?
I tried to obviously attack once, and then Rage and Robert got close to each other again. I thought, yeah, I know what happened last time, so I'm just going to back off and see what happens. And yeah, unfortunate, it happens. Those two are battling hard as they always do. And then yeah, just trying to bring it home really. Danny was doing a great supporting role and somehow managed to get his mediums to the end and on like 88% or what they were. So yeah, good performance for Alphas really.
Yeah, really well done. Bahrain next week. Looking forward to it, or still a lot of practice to be done before next week?
Had a league race Sunday night round there, so should be okay. But yeah, probably need a little bit more practice. I think a bit like today, I was probably realistically maybe third quickest, fourth quickest. I don't know where Ricky would have been if he had a more comparative quality time. But yeah, it should be interesting once again.
Really well done, mate. Congratulations on the P1. Brilliant performance, and enjoy it.
Cheers, mate.
With that, it rounds off the interviews and the stream/podcast for today. Thank you everyone for joining the commentary box for the interviews. Congratulations on the podium, and thank you, Lewis, for joining today's stream again.
Yeah, thank you. Well done, guys. A great, really interesting race, and look forward to next week.
Definitely looking forward to next week. If you don't want to miss anything from Console Speed, make sure to hit the follow button. If you feel very generous, you can either hit the subscribe button or go to our web shop and buy something. If you want to see any more races, go and watch the Tier 2 stream on Tuesday, tomorrow, and the AM2 stream. On Wednesday, the AU1 and the AM1, and on Thursday, the AU4 race. The stream is back up again. Brilliant timing. You absolutely love to see it. Yes, Blaze, I had the showroom up just in case, and you absolutely love to see it. As I always say, stay safe, goodbye, and see you later.